Anyway, let's move on. So, Chapter 3-2. What we're going to do for Chapter 3-2 is the moment we start, we're not going to go... Normally, you start off in a drop, and there's going to be these reels all over the place. We're not going to worry about that. We're going to move to the right, we're going to zoom stomp, and we're going to mock speed to get to the bottom as soon as possible. And I think the best way to do this is just to show you what happens. You gotta kind of put up with poor spawns here and there, but otherwise it's not a big deal. So, but yeah, we'll just dive into it. So we're gonna deal with 4 Bianchi Primas in the beginning, followed by 4 football players, followed by 2 Rosettas, followed by 2 Bianco Billies. Okay? Let's get started. Mock speed zoom. So, 4 Primas first. We're going to just use standard zoom punching. No mock speed, just zoom. Same deal for the football players. Putting up with the spawn. And try to stay in this area. The visual cue for this area is the initial arc of 5 reels. That's a pretty good indication of where you are, because the Rosettas will pretty much spawn in that area. Sometimes you're just going to have to put up with their shenanigans. They'll just kind of go back and forth. Do the best you can. Once you take out the Rosettas, the Bianco Billies will always jump on your left and right side. What I do is I take the one out on the left first, zoom jump to take the guy out on the right, and then I can go after the remote control. So left, zoom jump, boom boom, control, center of the screen, and we're done. Notice too, after all that fighting, I got my VFX back. So one thing that I mentioned during AGDQ is that actually when you're using slow, mock speed, zoom, whatever the case is, if your VFX is at the bottom of the screen, or the bottom of your gauge rather, if you enter a cutscene you get a full refill. So take advantage of it. So you got to understand where the cutscenes are. In that case, once you take down the Bianco Billies, you get a cutscene. Once you pick up the remote control, you get a cutscene. Once you take out enemies in each major section, in this particular chapter, you get a cutscene. So use it. So what we're going to do now is go pick up this platform. We're going to slow, bring it down. And what we're going to do is we're going to do normal sliding here. If you mock speed, you'll move away from the platform too quickly. It won't actually follow you. See? I lost track of it. That's no good. So you can't mock speed. The other aspect of it too is that when you mock speed in this game, as you guys have seen multiple times already, the platform rises. So what that means is you're trying to bring this platform all the way over here, and the platform's all the way up in the air. So unfortunately I used the remote by accident, but what we'll do is I'll show you what I typically do. You get the platform under that initial gate, and you just do standard sliding. And then once you hit the button, you mock speed over it, you hold slow, and you're done. So that's about it for the first section. Really nothing to say there. For this next section, we got to take out 6 Bianchis. We're going to take out 2 at a time. And this is a case of memorizing the spawns once again. And what I typically do is I mock speed them. So as the first one jumps in, what will end up happening is I start punching him immediately. As the second one comes in, he's going to jump in between the both of us. And I'll start attacking the second guy who jumps in and use the images from the second guy to attack the first guy. And you'll have to see it to understand what I'm really talking about. See that? So what ended up happening there was I started punching the first guy, did a little bit of damage. The second guy interrupted me, so I started punching him instead. And then as I'm beating the second guy rather, the image actually popped out from the second guy to attack the first guy to finish him off. So it's initial damage, major damage to the second, and then I can finish both off at the same time. So, you know, it's just how mock speed works in this game. And we'll do the same thing here, hopefully. See? One more time. Sometimes you're a little short, not a big deal, and we're done. So that gate opening, that was actually a cutscene. So we get all the VFX back. So go crazy here. Use your VFX as much as you can. Now, for this next scene, what we're going to do, we have to take out these electrical guards. What I typically do, I mock speed over, I punch, and pull out a boomerang. Boomerangs take these guys down pretty quickly. Now, the reason I don't use slow zoom, or whatever the case is because if you use slow, the lightning comes out exaggerated, because that's just part of the game. That's how it works. I don't use slow. If I take a hit and I'm invincible, I will actually sometimes just go up and zoom punch the electrical guard down. It's a, that could work too. So there's also cases of it's risky to actually attempt this. I mean, to really go up and actually try to take it down like that. That's why I throw boomerangs, and I'll do that for the second one as well. So normally these guys wouldn't be here, so you take these guys out really quickly. So boom, 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 boomerang, jump, boom, 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 boomerang, jump, done. And there you go. And that's it for that section. There's really nothing to it. For the second set, there's another set of electrical guards. This room is called the Doom Room. It's been nicknamed the Doom Room, and the reason is specifically on Ultra V rated. There are these, those blue flying fish guys that come at you. The spawning in this room is completely random for those fish. I can't control where they're at, so sometimes they're attacking me directly head on. Sometimes they're miles away and they decide to approach me much later. Because I can't control them, taking a hit is almost a guarantee. I rarely get through this without getting hit. So what I end up doing is I take the hit, I either throw a boomerang, or I use Red Hot 100 depending on the situation. So it depends on how far or how close I am to it, rather. So, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm probably going to get hit. So, but the same deal for the second one, though. The second electrical guard, I throw a boomerang at it. So the first one's tricky, the second one, boomerang. So see, in that case, they decided to wait for a bit, throw a boomerang, same deal, throw a boomerang, done. And that's the Doom Room.
Hey, where are you going?
Now, there is another strategy that I've employed lately. It's risky, but it works. The moment you enter that room, you actually zoom jump at a diagonal, and your zoom jump will actually do enough damage to take out the electrical guard in time. But if you mess up, you're going to get bombarded with flying fish, and it could be a little messy. I'm not going to go into that one. That's the safest route right now. 2 boomerangs for each room, and you're good to go. And then for this room, notice when you're sliding and you're going down a ramp, it's sort of like the stairs from Chapter 1. You got to, do it in a rhythm. You can't just mash it, because if you mash it, you're going to get stuck in midair. So, now, we need to take on Joker. And the key thing for Joker here, we got to get as close as possible. If he jumps and gets away from you, he could be a major nightmare. You don't want to let that happen. So let's see if we can do it. Sprint up to him, and we got him. 1, 2, and he's dead. Now, these slots in particular they're interesting. Because they're suspended in midair, what you need to do, or what I do typically, what Laserlong does, I like what he does personally, you can actually suspend yourself in midair by alternating kick and punch. And because you can cancel animations in this game, you actually won't attack the slot. So you can actually suspend yourself here while you wait for the Vs to actually show up, because remember, we're not getting coins. And that's how you can take down slots. They are tricky. They are very annoying slots, actually. But you can suspend yourself. You can hold yourself up as long as you need to. Fortunately, you have a lot of time with the slow meter on kids mode. On adults and Ultra V rated, you don't have quite as much time, but you can usually make it work. So, and that's pretty much it for the level. After that, it's a matter of a mad rush back. So, we're going to use visual cues again. We're going to slide past these gentlemen here, the red soldiers. Let's pause for a second.
Where you going?
Once you pass through these gates, they close. So you can't go back. Which, well, you don't want to go back anyway. What I do here is I slide until I see the second guard in the room. Once I see the second guard, I stop sliding and do normal running. Because what's going to happen is there's going to be these little cannons shooting mines out. And the mines, what they'll do is if you slide into them, you'll get hurt. So you'll get knocked back. That's something you don't want to happen. You don't want to have happen. So we're going to slide down, wait until about the second electrical guard. We're going to stop. We're going to stop sliding, rather, and we're just going to mock our way through it. And we're going to do it for the second room. And then for the third room, we're going to slide just for a little bit. And then jump over the cannon, and that'll be it for the level. So, let's see what happens. Stop. Stop. Slide. Right about there. And we're good. 3-2. So, don't need anything from the store. You have boomerangs, you have bombs, you have all the moves you need. So it's just Grand Bruce, really. For Grand Bruce, what I do is 1, 2, 3, jump, jump, 1. Yeah, you have to practice it yourself. It's just getting through the area as quickly as possible, so... For Grand Bruce, what we're going to do is, the moment this fight starts, he's going to jump to my left, right next to the wall. I'm going to start punching him as he's landing. You're going to punch him 7 times. After the 7th time, you're going to move back just a little bit, okay? You're going to throw a boomerang, you're going to buffer a boomerang, throw it off, and then as the boomerang's returning, the moment he's done spinning his rotor, you're going to rush back in there, slow zoom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just wail on him until he's dead. The boomerang should do the rest of the damage for you. So it's 7, boomerang, 8. Done. That's Grand Bruce. It's a very easy fight. So let's give it a shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back off, boomerang. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Grand Bruce. And that's chapter 3. And there you go. Nothing to it.